Okay, everyone is there, right? And our class, today's class from 11 to 12. Okay, now we will discuss about the bioprocess engineering 1. First of all, am I audible to everyone? Please clear one more time.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. Thank you for your response. So we will discuss about bioprocess engineering. The course code is KBT401. My name is Kuldeep Roy. Now, in the course, we will discuss about how the bioreactor or how the bioprocess it is related to that biotechnological subject. Okay, the course objective will be the understand the fundamental basic of microbial kinetic, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, and mass transfer. Means we will discuss how the microbial kinetic, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, and mass transfer related to your biotechnology course or subject. Okay. Now the second objective will be understand the basics of the bioreactor engineering, which include the bioreactor design and influence of the process parameters. Now in this, we will discuss about how we can design our reactor, means how much will be the components and how it will relate to your designing part of the bioreactor. I will discuss all these things and how the fundamental thing related to your designing part also. And the third is development of the bioengineering biochemical skills for the designing or scale up of bioreactor. If you want to scale up a reactor from 5 ml liter to 5 liter, then you have to consider a lot of parameters, a lot of variable constraint to determine to get the actual yield which you are getting in 5 liter to same product yield for the 5 liter reaction volume. Okay, I all these things we will discuss in detail in this course. These are the textbook which we will refer. First, McDonald Fox and McDonald. This is very good book for the fluid mechanics. And second will be the unit operation in chemical engineering, McCabe Smith. Post principle of unit operation, Hallman for the heat transfer, and Tribal for the mass transfer. I will give you the all notes. Don't worry. I will let you know from where we are talking about and which subject, in which book we are following for which that portion of the subject. Now, this is the structure of your course. Your course is divided into the 5 units. One is the fluid mechanics. Another, in this unit, we will discuss about how the fundamental things like Newton's law of viscosity, which follows the ideal condition of the fluid. And for the application part, we will discuss in unit 2, where we will talk about how the orifice venturi, which is related to your bioreactor application part. All these things will be covered in part 2. And the third will be the conduction convection, means heat transfer. Why heat transfer? Because if you will increase the temperature from elevated temperature like 30 to 40 degree temperature, then you have to take into consideration how the conduction and convection takes place into your liquid system, in the bioreactor system. All these things we will discuss here. And the fourth will be your diffusion point. Of course, the mass transfer limitation is the biggest problem in the bioreactor, because you need higher mass transfer to enhance the production yield, and at that time you need optimum condition also. It cannot be if you will put any kind of cell or any kind of microbe in the bioreactor, the depth should be lower and the mass transfer limitation should be lower. Means you need higher production yield to enhance the mass transfer, and you want to reduce the cell death for higher production yield. And the fifth part, which is related to the how the fluidization takes place, how the solid and liquid boundary, because anyway you are adding solid, liquid, and some portion of the gases. Like if you are talking about the aerated and non-aerated, then three things will come: solid, liquid, gas, both. So first two part will be related to fluid mechanics. The third one will be related to your heat transfer. Fourth and fifth will be related to mass transfer. Now, let me give very brief glimpse of the bioprocess engineering, because this subject is very interesting. If you will learn this fundamental thing, definitely you can apply each and everywhere, because this course is very fundamental, very fundamental. First of all, why we are reading such kind of subject? I think you are from biotechnological department. So why we need bioprocess engineering? First, this question comes into the picture. For that, uh, if you are dealing any kind of reactor, means it have some microbe and it have some substrate, like you are adding any kind of glucose, sucrose to feed that microbe, then it will grow according to their size. Then at the time it will give some kind of product. It can be anything, your value added product, or some that any kind of byproduct also, which is high, which have the higher value. So to get the better yield in term of intermediate or the product, you need such kind of reactor where you can grow your cell or bacteria or microbe at the higher growth rate. Higher, you need higher growth rate. For that, you need good design of the bioreactor where you will get the higher yield. Now, if you're that bioprocess engineering, which I have written three lines, let me read this line also. That bioprocess engineering deal the design, as I already told, designing part. Operation means you need optimum condition to get the higher yield. Optimization, you have to optimize how much is the optimum temperature, how much is the how much should be the pH, and how much should be your that inoculum conditions, and you have to take it into consideration. And then the control of the biochemical processes involving is an essential part of many food, chemical and pharmaceutical industries. Now, the bioprocess operation make use of microbial, animal and plant cell and the component of the cell, such as enzyme, to manufacture new product and destroy harmful waste. As I already told, that these cells are very important to grow inside the reactor. So for growing, for their growth, you need optimum condition where they will grow. Now, if you are talking about the day-to-day life examples, like when you convert milk to curd, anyway, you are doing the bacterial activity. If you add little bit about the bacteria, that it will convert into the curd. Similarly, fruit juice into wine, because that fruit juice wine is converted, which is coming from grapes. So you are doing the fermentation process, and same thing, you are getting the wine. And sugar for the alcohol. If you want to AB fermentation, if you do for the sugar, like AB fermentation, A for acetone, B for butanol, E for ethanol. If you want to get the three type of alcohol, then you have to do the fermentation process. This is the very brief introduction for the bioprocess engineering, and this is very fundamental subject as a biotechnology subject is concerned, that course is concerned. Now, as the bioprocess engineering is the backbone of the biotechnology industry, which is divided into the three part as per processing. Now, these are the three major parts in term of upstream processing. What does that mean? Upstream processing. Upstream means when you will add any kind of microbe or the cell into the reactor, it will include the following steps, like inoculum preparation. You have to prepare the inoculum. Then media formulation. You have to get the media. You have to form the media. Then improvement of the inoculation by genetic engineering. If you want to grow, or if you want to some kind of changes, if you want to do some kind of changes of the cell, then you have to do the genetic engineering. And the growth kinetic optimization, which is aimed to enhance the production of the cell growth. This comes into the upstream processing. Now, second will be your bioreactor design. What does that mean? As you have added some kind of cell in the bioreactor, then you need some kind of condition where they will grow with good conditions. You have to give good food, you have to give them good condition so that they will grow. If they will grow, you will get the good product. So you have to thoroughly read how the bioreactor design should be to get the higher production yield. Now the downstream processing, here you will do the purification separation, which is totally means after the production, how you will separate your product and the cell. That thing comes into the downstream processing. Now, first of all, I will directly go to the bioreactor design because this subject is totally related to bioreactor design. Now, how the bioreactor comes into the picture. Am I audible to everyone now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more thing. If you have any query, please let me know. I will give all these notes. Don't worry. But if you have any query, please let me know. Okay. Okay, now the bioreactor, what does that mean? Bioreactor means there will be one kind of reactor but it will include some kind of biological process. A reactor means where the reaction takes place, that is called reactor. Means you have to put any kind of vessel or any kind of beaker or any kind of reactor where the reaction takes place, that is called reactor. But if you add some kind of biological thing like cell, bacteria, algae, then it will called as the bioreactor. A bioreactor is a vessel or a device designed to sustain or support life of cell or and tissue culture. As I already told, you will add some kind of cell or tissue into the reactor and you are looking for some kind of product which is value added product. Now, first of all, see the few components. This is the bioreactor design which this picture shows. Now you can see here, this is the, you can say this is batch type of reactor because there is different type of batch reactor. We are assuming this is batch reactor. Then what you will do, you will fed your liquid sample at a time, and this is the air. Now you can see this air you will asparage. Why? Because to grow the cell you need oxygen. You have to provide some oxygen content to cell to grow. Means there is and one more thing, there is the two type of the process. One is the aerated, one is aerobic, and another one is anaerobic process. So you have to read first of all which kind of bacteria you are dealing with and which kind of system is this. Here if you'll add the oxygen or any kind of air or any kind of gas, so the cell will consume that oxygen or any kind of oxygen source or any kind of gaseous source, and it will grow in size. Now this portion called as the sparger part, sparger, which is submerged into the liquid, and this is the reactor where the reaction takes place. Means you will add some kind of cell and you will add some liquid system, but liquid system should contain that media. Means it will have some organic source, it will have some metal source, which is required for cell to grow into that liquid system, in whole liquid system, this reactor system. Now after that you have added the liquid, you have added the cell, you have given some media component. After eating they will grow. Then what will be required? You will require the agitation. Why agitation? This is the crucial part of your that reactor system. Agitation will remove the mass transfer limitation because you need higher mass transfer. What does that mean? Mass transfer means why it is coming from. Why mass transfer? Mass transfer because cell is your solid surface and liquid which will be reside into the bulk. Then you need that cell consume the iron or mineral or organic source and it will grow. If they will grow, it will produce some kind of product. It can be anything. If you are talking about the fermentation process, that's fructose, sucrose, glucose, cell will consume and it will eat. After that, it will give some value-added product like fermentation. You will get AB fermentation. You will get the ethanol, butanol, and acetone. Three kind of the alcohol you are getting. So for that you have to increase the mass transfer. If you will put the agitation here, it will mix thoroughly because your cell is solid, liquid will be reside into that bulk. If you increase the mixing, the mass transfer limitation will reduce, and the liquid easily get inside that cell, and cell will consume all the ingredient which you are added in the media, and it will grow, and it will give the higher production of the value added product. What means what you are looking for, like AB fermentation means you will give the higher yield of the acetone, butanol and ethanol. Now the one more thing, you have to provide the sensor also, means for sensing if you need any kind of pH control, because cell cannot grow at the higher pH, so you have to make it either neutral or nearby neutral, means 7 or nearby 6, 5, 8, something like this. So you have to determine how much is the pH, because pH is the very important part to grow the cell. And after that, the thermal jacket. Now the heat transfer comes in. Here it is coming the heat transfer. Why heat transfer? Because if you will increase the temperature at room temperature, it is near about 25 to 30. But if you will increase the temperature from 30 to 40, at that particular point you have to maintain the temperature. When that whole system will be maintained at a particular temperature, then only the cell growth will be higher. So now here you can see the liquid you have added, fluid mechanics comes. Now heat transfer, you are increasing the temperature. Now here the heat transfer comes into the picture, and here the agitation, that agitation part, which is increasing the mass transfer. Now the mass transfer will come into the picture. After the whole reaction, you have to drain out, and now after the drain out, you have to segregate your liquid part and the solid part by any kind of that downstream processing. Downstream processing, it is depend on means in different kind of system, like you can use the centrifugation of that system. Based on the centrifugal force of action, your solid and liquid will separate. Same thing, if you want to do the membrane separation, you can do the membrane separation. The solid and liquid will easily separate out. And there is the various type of the process in the downstream section after the production of your value-added product. This is the very basic part of the bioreactor, which I have discussed here. Now, as I already told, if you are talking about the criteria, now this course is totally related to the fluid mechanics, heat transfer and mass transfer. Then for a particular bioreactor, what will be the criteria and how these subject related to that bioreactor design? Now the first part which I have mentioned here, the microbiological and biochemical characteristics. Now leave it biochemical, because there will be some chemical reaction, you are adding biological process, there will be something. Now leave it that part. From the second part, now you can see the hydrodynamic characteristics. Now this is the most important point, means this is the designing part of the reactor. You have to design a reactor, or you have to make the reactor to get the higher production yield. And third point will be the heat transfer and the mass transfer characteristics. What you are looking for, you need higher mass transfer to get the higher yield, and heat transfer, if the heat transfer will be good, it will give the higher production yield. And the third one, it is related to that the kinetic growth. Of course, growth will be higher, it will give the good product, genetical stability. This rest of the thing you will read in your different courses, but we are interested in only the two portions, like hydrodynamic characteristics and mass transfer and the heat transfer. Now, first of all, we will talk about the type of reactor. As already I have shown here that this is, I have assumed this is batch type of reactor, but there is a various type of the reactor. It will be depend on your process, means how you are looking for. If batch process means you will fed your reactant at a time, and you will put for 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, and after that you will remove your product. That is batch fermentation. Now second, the continuous stirrer tank reactor, means you are stirring your reactor. As I already told, now here you have applied one agitation system. This is the continuously it is moving continuously. So at that point, it will enhance the mass transfer. So it will give the higher production yield. But this type of process like fermentation, batch fermenter and the continuous stirrer tank reactor, it is depend on your yield, means what you are looking for. If the batch process it is sufficient to get the higher yield, then batch process you have to use. If the continuous stirrer tank reactor, means if you need some continuously stirrer tank reactor, continuously stirring, then you have to add some kind of agitation, or you can add any kind of thing. Now the tubular reactor and fluidized bed reactor. Fluidized bed means now you can see here you are adding some kind of bubbles. You can see here when you will inject air, it will make the fluid in the floating condition, means it will enhance the mass transfer. It will add any kind of gas. You are increasing by using the agitation, you are increasing mass transfer by adding any kind of air. So anyway you are increasing the yield of the product, okay. Now these things are very fundamental thing which I have discussed in the bioreactor and bioreactor designing part. Now let me show few more things here, that this portion which I already told that it is related to your fluid mechanics application, and this is the portion where you will apply. Now if you will see that this is the orifice and venturi, if someone can ask, Are, where you will apply orifice and venturi, then if you will see this reactor, this aerated portion, this air portion, some people they are applying orifice. Why orifice? Because its bubble size is very small. You need a smaller bubble. So at that point you can apply here, you can make hole in that portion, it will easily flow through the liquid system. And here 1, 2, 2, 3 thing also, like area flow meter or rotameter, which all these things comes here only for determining the flow rate, how much should be the flow rate of the gas, how much should be the flow rate of the how much should be the flow rate of the liquid if you are talking about the continuous flow reactor system. And this thing, heat transfer and mass transfer, which I already told, if you are talking about the higher temperature condition, definitely you have to you have to require the higher temperature. So the conduction and convection will comes into that picture, and this is the mass transfer, that 2 unit. So from Monday onward we will discuss these fundamentals. First of all I will start from unit 1 only, okay, the fluid mechanics, and we will cover all this portion one by one. And this is up to here only, and the next we will discuss about the fluid property, that unit 1, and this is from here only, okay.